What is up, y'all? Welcome to this episode of Santa Cruz Medicinals Radio. We finally have the much requested Michael Smoak, Higher Up Wellness. You guys know him. I'm assembling the Avengers of Health for you guys, okay? We got doctors, we got health influencers, we have everybody, pro athletes, everybody coming on to help you guys. What's up, brother?
Dude, thank you for having me, man.
Of
This is
course.
long overdue and much requested, I guess, in both of our pages.
It is. And now, like, you're pretty much going to move to San Diego. Is that what I hear?
Yeah, that's the first. You heard it here first. I'm going to be living here for at least the summer after the travels end in June. So I've been a nomad full time
Yeah.
since February, living out of my car and Airbnbs. And I'm getting into that season where it feels like it's time to settle down a little bit after
sure.
a couple months of this. It's a very wild way to live.
Yeah.
Very chaotic. I'm homeless the same day I book something. It's strange. So I'm gonna come out here first week of June and I'll live here until September. And then I'll decide if I want to actually bring all my stuff from Atlanta, where it's sitting comfortably in my mom's basement, aka my storage unit,
Yep.
and bring my whole apartment that was in Atlanta to here to actually live.
Dude, that's a great time to be here. June to September, it's beautiful.
That's what everybody says.
The weather here is gorgeous. In May you get a little bit of fog, and stuff, which I don't mind. I like it. But like overall, bro, I lived in the Bay Area for my whole life, and at some point, my wife and I were just like, we want to have kids. Probably gonna have kids in the next few years, and it's like, we would just rather raise a family down here. The Bay is great. I love it, but to raise a family, I think here is just better.
It seems a lot. I was telling a guy in the gym today, it seems a lot like, have you spent much time in the South or the Southeast?
I haven't. I actually own a house in Alabama.
Never been to it?
I haven't been to it. Shout out Alabama.
Oh my gosh.
But no, I think the South is dope. I mean, I haven't spent as much time as I want down there, though.
You've heard Southern hospitality.
Yeah.
I think it's a certain presence. There's certain energetic things. For example, this is a small thing, but in the South, you make eye contact with somebody, you do this.
Yep.
How you doing? How's your day?
It's
And
important.
that doesn't exist in most parts of the country, or the ones that I've been to. But in here in SoCal, like everybody is like that.
Yeah.
Hold the door for you, say thank you, very polite. It feels a lot like home.
People are friendly here.
Yes.
They really are. And I think, like, for what we do in, like, the health world, I think San Diego's an amazing spot. I got to be in LA a decent amount, and I can just drive up there. Don't have to get on a flight for that. It's just nice, man. I just love it. And my wife has family in Mexico. I can easily be down in
Oh,
Mexico.
that's clutch.
I mean, Mexico's literally right there.
Is your family still up in the Bay Area?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my family's still up there. So, like, my mom's flying in, like, today, and that's easy to get her down here and get the whole family down here. So, dude, I always try to convince everybody to move down here. So, luckily, I don't have to convince
You don't have to. I walked on the beach one night with my boy Luke, and we sat down. We were watching the sunset, and we both work for ourselves. Him to a degree, me owning my own business. And we were just sitting in silence. We were looking at the sunset. Not a word for 5 minutes, and he just looks at me slowly and goes, "Why the hell do we not live here?"
Yeah.
And I went, "I don't know, but I think it's time."
Yeah. No, it's like, it's really one of the best places on earth. And
Yes.
the prices do reflect that, it's extremely expensive, but
I'll buy an $8 coffee and pay $6 a gallon for gas for this. I don't care.
that's how I feel too. People are like, the taxes. I'm like, bro, like, there's not really anywhere else I can live. Like, I need to be near the ocean, for surfing. I just absolutely love it. It's like the thing in my life that calms me down. Now I'm getting into free diving and spearfishing. I can do all that here.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many other places that you can do that. Florida doesn't have waves like that, so it's like, yeah, I need to be here.
Totally understand now. I never thought I would get it, but I get it now.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah. So health-wise, people want to hear us talk health. What have you been up to lately with your health? And that can mean anything to you. Workouts, nutrition, whatever it is.
So right now I'm in a marathon prep. I'm 2 weeks out roughly from the London Marathon. And I was talking with you in the kitchen. That's certainly not what I would consider health. It's just something I'm doing for performance. And really this is true for anything done to an extreme degree is not health.
Yeah.
Building muscle and lifting weights, healthy. Bodybuilding, not healthy.
Yep.
Strongman, not healthy. Endurance running, not healthy. And I don't do it for the physical health benefits. And there's this big wave of hybrid athlete that's sweeping the internet and painting, frankly, for a lot of people that aren't deep in training, a false narrative for what's possible with their physique and their running. And so I do it for the mental fortitude. So right now it looks like eating a ton of food. I'm experimenting a little bit with staying at a higher body fat these days. I was lean for a long time, probably comfortably between like 10 and 12%. And that's fine to be healthy, but I didn't realize the benefits of being where I am now, probably like 14 to 17%. The body dysmorphia likes to kick in, but dude, I bounce back so fast
Yes.
from my workouts. Like I told you I had a 20-mile run last weekend, and when I'm 10% body fat, I'm pretty crushed by that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know the mechanistic functions behind this, but I went out that day, had lunch, walked around, was fine the next day, ran on Monday. I just feel stronger because mass moves mass. So the gym is a lot better. I actually hit a lifetime bench PR. It was sick. I was
Let's
hyped.
go.
And I bounce back from my runs quicker. So right now it's looking like keeping my body fat in that performance zone
Hmm.
rather than aesthetics. And then after this, I'll probably drop just 5 or 6 pounds, get a little leaner for summer and focusing the best I can, which has been a really fun challenge in this nomad lifestyle of eating nutrient dense whole foods and maintaining my current body weight when I eat out 6 to 7 times a week.
Yeah.
That's where my focus is now.
Luckily, you can kind of find healthy options around here to eat.
Easier here than anywhere I've
Yeah,
been.
easier here. But yeah, I mean, staying slightly higher body fat, not higher body fat, but so, I mean, they do know that when athletes get to really low body fat, they especially know this from like UFC fighters and stuff, their hormones tank. It's just reliably. Like people think when they see that UFC fighter make that walk, they're like, this dude is, on top of the world right now. Oftentimes, if you took like their test right there, you'd see like 200 nanograms
Yeah.
per deciliter, 300 nanograms per like it's not good. So I do think when people really want to get lean and shredded and like really lean, like you're saying 10% or under, you do have this like push and pull with your hormones and immune system. And then like from an evolutionary perspective, like it doesn't really make sense for us to operate that lean for that long. It wouldn't be the goal, especially if we don't know where our next meal is necessarily going to come from. Now we do, so maybe you could be a bit leaner, but it seems like it's going to negatively affect your sleep, your immune system if you operate in that super lean, shredded state.
Yeah. I think I didn't realize this, but when you ask me what I'm focusing on my health now, I remember there was a period where for a long time, man, I was waking up in the mornings and I legit felt like I had to peel myself out of bed.
Mm,
And I didn't have perfect sleep. I wasn't optimizing. I was probably getting 7 hours a night, 7.5. But every morning it was like someone hit me in the head with a hammer and I
yeah.
was felt like shit the first few hours of the day. And I think it was a combination of energetically, I had been through a lot of emotional turmoil
Hmm.
that I hadn't really processed or was still in the midst of. But then I look back, I was running distance and I was 10% body fat. And we know they did a research study that found that men who ran, I think, over 50 kilometers a week, which is over about 30 to 32 miles a week, their testosterone was on average 40% lower
Yep.
than their counterparts who didn't run. And
Bro.
then I paired that with
Yes.
low body fat, which is bad for test.
Yes.
And it's like, no wonder I felt like shit all the time. Now
Yeah.
I'm waking up and I feel so much sharper. And it's a trade-off when you're in the fitness and you're like me. I got into this originally 10 years ago for aesthetics. I was fat. So the body dysmorphia likes to creep in a little bit. And it's been nice to just focus solely on performance and then have a little bit more liberation with my food.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. No, I wanted to do a piece in the studio defending running. And I'm not a runner. I don't like running, honestly. I like doing other things for my cardio. But I wanted to make this piece defending running because I do think it's an amazing thing. Like this wave of people getting into running is obviously one of the best things ever because
No
it's going to
doubt.
get you in shape. You're going to be able to get into that calorie deficit. And there's a lot of community now with running, which I love. People, throw shade sometimes in these run clubs or whatever, but like that's a crazy thing in my opinion, in 2026 to throw shade at, like a bunch of people getting together and
Outside,
yeah,
sober, to do
outside,
physical
not drinking,
activity.
getting social connection face to face. It's like, I get it. Like, I'll laugh if there's an Instagram reel and someone is, clowning a run club. Like, okay, fine. Make your little jokes.
Yeah.
Humor's fun. But like the reality is like, I think people inside, depressed, anxious, having no social connection and might go shoot up a school. I don't want those people,
Get that guy in a
yeah, get that guy
5K.
in a run club. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get him hanging out with Noah Roulette running around, dude.
Yeah,
Maybe he'll
dude.
get stoked on
They
life.
just
Like,
they just did a crazy meetup in LA. I was there for. I popped in.
oh,
It was like
nice.
500 kids running the streets of LA.
Bro, yeah.
And
Like,
everybody's so lit up and they're meeting like-minded people. It's impossible to argue with. And I know I said earlier the hybrid athlete thing is creating a confusing narrative physique-wise, but I will die on the hill that running changed my life both from a confidence standpoint, because I love the belief system that confidence is evidence-based. I
yeah,
think if you lack self-belief and you lack confidence, you just lack evidence
100%.
of doing the things you say you're going to do and doing hard things. And Running marathons has given me so much deep self-belief because I felt that it was impossible at one point, but I can think of 5 of my closest friends that I trust the most, I met at a run club in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't started marathon training, they wouldn't be in my life.
Yeah. No, you meet good people through that are pursuing hard physical things. It's just how life goes. And so, yeah, people shouldn't clown on that. But it does, distance running appears to somewhat negatively affect your
For
endocrine
sure.
profile. Now, the thing is, though, like when you're saying like some of these pursuits that you do, like, marathons and ultras aren't healthy, it's a very nuanced thing. 'Cause I think you would agree with this of, and I do like the barbarian workout sometimes, or I'm doing the whatever, carrying a crazy amount of weight. And people are like, this isn't healthy. And I'm like, you're right. But sometimes I need that push mentally. And so for me right there, it is healthy. Like it just is. So I would say for people out there, it's like if running is your thing, keep on doing it. You just have to pay attention to the fact that it might negatively affect your hormones a bit. You need to pay more attention to recovery. You need to also realize that it is a bit addicting. I'm somebody who's addicted to working out. I can fall into overtraining and get that same feeling that you did where my sleep scores start going down, my immune system's a little affected, and I'm waking up a little tired. But I have this thing of like, it's fun where I'm like, okay, I'm tired. I did a bunch of training. And then Albert's like, let's go to jujitsu. And Tanner's like, let's surf after you're done with jujitsu. And then you just go into this thing of you're like, you just got to be careful. So
Yeah,
I think people need to realize the addicting aspect of it, and a slow weight lift workout I've found has become my like recovery. 'Cause it's like different. It's a different tax to the nervous system than some of the cardio stuff that I do.
totally. I think it is nuanced, and we can't measure the physiological impacts of the mental confidence and health gain you get from doing something that pushes the mind. Are you familiar with the Masogi?
No.
So Jesse Itzler is a very prominent Atlanta entrepreneur, and I first heard him talk about this in 2018. The Masogi is a Japanese principle of purification, and he sort of took it and spun it into the purification act of something that is so immensely challenging that it requires you to be purified in the process.
Hmm.
So the Masogi is for what Jesse has marketed it as the year defining challenge.
Mm,
Something so big that it kind of scares you a bit and you're
yeah.
not totally sure you can do it. And for me, my first marathon was my Masogi.
Yeah.
I'd never run more than 5 miles. I'd struggled truly with self identity, self belief, self image for as long as I can remember. Since I was a little kid, I wouldn't take my shirt off at the pool. Like, I always struggled with these
Yeah.
things. And then I got really lean and fit and jacked, and that helped, but it didn't solve everything. And when I heard Jesse talk about this, I signed up for my first marathon and did a marathon prep and got small, lost tissue, endocrine profile, probably not great. But I remember crossing the finish line and legitimately, for the first time in my life, saying in my head and believing I can do anything if I prepare for it.
Absolutely.
You can't tell me that's not healthy.
No, it's extremely healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on a different level. And, this overtraining discussion is really strange. I was talking to Gaston Bolaños, he fights in the UFC, and we were talking about overtraining. And he was basically like, any time that I've truly leveled up in martial arts, I go through a period of overtraining. And then your threshold for overtraining also, yeah, it gets bigger. So it's like, if we both ran 7 miles a day for the next 5 days, I would get overtrained. You wouldn't because you run a lot. And if you went to 7 days of jujitsu, you would get overtrained faster than me. So it's like whatever you kind of want to do in life, you can level up. And there's going to be periods there where you feel overtrained. And that's fine. I think that's like yeah, it's an important thing, man. The mental health aspects of moving your body. It's crazy.
Yeah, with that nuance and conversation around overtraining, you can then argue, like you just said, there's almost a fear of overtraining in the longevity and recovery community now with optimizing for this and that and the third. And we can have a whole conversation of if you're constantly, I saw a creator make a great video. If your awareness of all the things you need to fix isn't matching the resilience of your ability to fix those things, that is thereby bad for your health.
Yeah,
Because now your awareness makes you stressed
for sure.
and your resilience isn't able to optimize sleep, air quality, training, nutrition, and everything. And now you're just worried all the time. But the very concept of you don't know where the limits are if you don't push them, and you can't raise them if you don't push them.
Yeah.
I think like we were talking with Joe out there about how a 10K made him super banged up, but a 10K, like you said, is easy for me. But there was a time where a 10K was hard.
Yeah,
And now I can do that, and it probably doesn't have the same endocrine profile impact that it used to.
for sure. Yeah, I'm trying to set some like hard things for me to do. Like I'm trying to do some different shit. Like the thing I want to do this summer is free diving. I want to go down to 60 feet underwater on one breath.
How
It's
long does
doable. No,
that
that's it's
take?
like it's doable.
How long does that take though? How long are you under?
60 feet, you might be under a minute 30 underwater.
30 out and 30 back will take you 90 seconds.
Yeah.
What about the
You have fins.
pressure?
You have fins. Yeah, the pressure you need to learn equalization. So I did 30 feet like 2 weekends ago, and yeah, you get some like pressure. It's not that big of a deal. It sounds crazy, bro. People, okay, the record is 430 feet, and that's one breath, like unassisted, not inhaling oxygen, just a dude breathing on the surface and going 430 feet underwater.
And 430 feet back up.
So yeah, the professional free divers black out on the way back up sometimes. It's crazy.
That's
So yeah,
terrifying, dude.
yeah.
I can't imagine how dark the water is at 400
Dude, the
feet
videos
underneath
of
the
this stuff, like
surface.
Nick, pull one up right now of just somebody like going under and coming back up. It gets real dark. They have like auto light and automatic light on their head that like starts to turn on because it gets dark as fuck.
Do they hang onto a rope? I feel like I've seen
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of things like the professional freediving competitions. They'll have a rope, and you have to actually take a little like tab so they know that you're like mentally aware as you go down. And then when you come back up,
Oh, like take a tab off the rope.
yeah, when you come back up, I believe you have to like show the tab or something because a lot of people will go into this state of like they're not fully there when they come back up. They're like almost shallow water blackout, it's called, almost there. Sometimes they fully are. But so there's like this whole thing. That world is crazy because it turns out like holding your breath for a long time underwater is about just staying super calm. Like just ultra calm. I just worked out with Aaron Rodgers' trainer, this dude Aaron Alexander, and he's held his breath for like 5 minutes just like underwater. Crazy. And we were doing breath holding exercises and like, yeah, you just see little stuff like when you start to get those like contractions, like my for me, like my right shoulder is rising, so then like
So your nervous system is responding
yeah,
actively.
your nervous system is like, get me, the CO2 buildup begins and your nervous system goes like, get me to air. But underwater, it's actually easier. You have the mammalian dive reflex. Like there's the whole aquatic ape theory that we're sort of designed to go in the water. The way our nose is designed, like you don't get like water up there. If you throw a baby in a pool, they actually instinctively hold their breath.
Yeah, and they can like
Um,
roll over and
yeah,
shit.
yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things that kind of show that we're adapted to be in the water. When you put your face into water, your breath hold time will go up. So if you just did like a static breath hold, like right now, you'd be like, all right, I got like a minute or something. If we put you like in the pool face down, that would actually be way easier for you. So it's there's a lot of fascinating stuff there, but I'm trying to get better at it to do better at spearfishing.
That's sick. So you stay under
Spearfishing's sick.
longer. Have you
Yeah.
seen those tribes? I'm sure you have that like live in the water.
Yeah, and no, their eyes are actually more adapted to see underwater. They're all just like talented free divers. They don't even know what free diving is.
No, they
It's
just
just
stay
like
underwater
this.
for like 6 minutes
Yeah,
at a
it's just
time.
what we do. But like I watch these videos of these dudes in Hawaii. There's these dudes, the Hawaii Hamas, and it's this guy who he's just like a spearfisher in Hawaii, but he'll go out and he'll be like, "Oh, I'm down here at 115 feet. Been down here for like a minute." And that's when it really gets into like, I'm not gonna be able to do that. Well, maybe someday. But like I just want to be able to go like 30, 40 feet down, get comfortable, you get to the bottom, and then you're really more in hunting mode with the spearfishing. You're like scratching the reef, hiding from fish a little bit. And wow, it's fun.
That's
It's
cool,
sick.
man.
Yeah.
The concept of what our bodies are capable of adapting to when you talk about pushing thresholds, like we're amazing.
Yeah, we
Like
are.
the have you read the book Born to Run?
No, but I've anthropologically I've seen a lot of these tribes that they run. They
They,
run barefoot. Yeah,
bro,
and they
they
become
this guy
adapted to it.
brought them back to the my buddy told me about this book last week, my friend Colin, and he's an ultra guy. He's done 100 and Ironman. He's got a crazy endurance career, and he was saying they found this Mexican tribe in the mountains of Mexico and brought them back to run ultras, 100 milers.
Yeah.
And they were doing it in basically what the modern day earth runners are that you can
Yeah.
buy, the barefoot sandals with the copper. And they were beating these guys by like 3 hours,
That's
which is
insane, bro.
an insane gap in a 100-mile race.
Yes.
It's like days in a marathon.
Yeah.
And then they put them, Nike got a hold of them and wanted to sponsor them and send them to more races. They're winning like crazy. Put them in Nike shoes. They start breaking ankles, tearing ACLs, blowing out their knees.
Mhm.
Really interesting conversation there about how these shoes are just like casts for our feet.
Yeah, no, I did a post on Hoka's that went viral because I'm like, hey, like,
Trash ass shoe.
yeah. So here's like my thing with all this stuff is for most people, if they just go, I'm gonna get rid of the Hoka's and buy a barefoot shoe, they're gonna cook themselves because like you're not there yet. You're not that guy, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like you're not there. So I think the move for most people is to start spending more time barefoot and start actually like working out the foot a bit. Like you can go on Amazon, just buy some whatever bullshit there is out there. Like I have those little like cork like boards out there for like foot exercises. And then I'll roll the bottom of my foot, but just overall spending more time barefoot, getting into that big toe. Like I do a 10-minute stretching routine every morning, and like part of that's like feet activation. Um, and I feel like once you start doing that and then spending a bit more time barefoot, you can really start to like retrain the nervous system and get your foot actually working. But just instantly going to trying to run barefoot, it's gonna cook you.
I tried that a couple years
Yeah.
ago, and I was like, "This is terrible." That and the zero drops, but I had something crazy happen to me during a 5-mile run with a friend the other day, where my middle toe just started killing me under the ball of my
Yeah.
foot. I could hardly walk for the
Yeah.
night, and then I went out in the ocean a couple days in a row and just like worked my feet in the sand and
Yes.
walked around in the beach in the sand barefoot for an hour.
Yep.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Dude, the sand, like on low tide, you can go run like at these beaches over here. Like I'll do that sometimes. One of the only forms of running I do currently, besides like some sprints, like I love like a low tide. I don't even know how long I'm running. It's probably 2.5 miles. I'm just going just like, zone two. And yeah, it feels so good. Like,
Barefoot?
yeah, barefoot.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, and just like, it's just, it feels so good. And you're just grounding and like, it's the right feeling on your feet and calves and ankles. It's absolutely amazing. But I want to talk about a time in your life where you were going through some shit that you were talking about. So you got canceled, or they tried to cancel you
Yeah.
off the internet. So
Still actively trying, I think.
tell us what happened.
So, exactly what happened as it occurred was there was apparently, well, not apparently, there were political climate things happening out in Minnesota. ICE agents had killed 2 people.
Hmm.
And at the time, I will put hand on my life. I did not know what was going on. I
Hmm.
don't watch the news. I think it's literally cancer for your mind.
Yeah.
And that's not in my algorithm. It's just like people like you and my friends in my algorithm.
Hmm.
And I just didn't know what was going on and was getting hammered with these comments. Speak on these people. Speak on what's happening in Minneapolis. To which I said, what are you talking about? What is happening? So I looked it up and I
Yeah.
went, shit, that's terrible. It's terrible. Nobody deserves to die over anything
Yeah.
ever. It's not what God calls us to do. It's not our job to decide who lives and dies. And after getting just repeatedly hammered over being asked to speak on it, I started thinking a lot about how when you get to a certain size as a creator, these people on the internet try to pressure you to become the mouthpiece of their opinions,
Hmm.
and that you have to be some sort of activist because you have a platform. But that's not how I built my platform. What
Hmm.
makes you think I know anything about that?
Yeah.
I don't. And so I made a video, something to the effect of a lot of you, it's no secret that a lot of you have been asking me to speak about what happened to Alex Peretti in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And my opinion is that you don't want my opinion. You
Hmm.
don't want any creator's opinion.
Yeah.
You want to listen to the first 8 seconds of our video and decide if we're your enemy or not.
Hmm.
You want to hear my opinion come out of your mouth. And I won't do that. That's what I said. I'm not your puppet. I make the videos that I feel called to make, that I think I'm supposed to serve people with. And that's all I'm ever going to do. And I specifically said, I think what happened to Alex is a tragedy. I think murder is a tragedy. Nobody deserves to die. We are not called to kill each other. It's directly against what God calls us to do.
Hmm.
We're called to love those who hate us and pray for everybody around us. And that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
It was a tragedy, but I'm not going to give an opinion every time something terrible happens. People chopped that video, a bunch of creators on the internet chopped that video up and made me look like a ripping asshole,
Hmm.
and took the part out of context, or took the part out of the video where I said it was a tragedy, it was murder.
Yeah.
And all that was left was a bunch of people watching the first 8 seconds of my video and deciding I was their enemy.
Yeah.
And it made me realize a lot. Number one, it made me really grateful that my identity is not in what we do as creators, and why a relationship with God and with Christ is so important for me. Because when you really understand that belief system, you understand what Jesus did and what God created you to do on this earth, that's what my identity is within. And I
Hmm.
could see, if I really valued who I was as a creator, I could see that have destroyed my mental health.
Yeah.
But I would, and it made me aware also that I had built this life that I was so proud of in real life,
Hmm.
that I could just put the phone down and go hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. And I thought it would blow over in a couple of weeks. And it's still, what are we? It's been about 8 weeks since that happened. And we still get trickles of comments there. But dude, the internet, That video on TikTok alone has 11,000 comments.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, it's tough. Yeah, I don't think people. So like the most amount of death threats I've received.
You gotten death threats?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
What? I don't view you as
So I
problematic.
did I did videos that were pretty anti-ice, and I've spoken out on some streams anti-ice in terms of anti the way that this was going down,
Yeah.
right? And so like I did this video giving money to people working at Home Depot, like overpaying them, like asked them to move some propane tanks for me. Then like I just gave them a bunch of money, and I'm like, yo, like a lot of people don't rock with what's going on, like thank you, And that video, the thing is, bro, I know it's gonna be controversial when I post it, but yeah, you get death threats. This one dude like reported me to what was it, like Homeland Security or something, or like yeah, he's like kind of a troll, but he's like, I'm reporting Brendan for hiring undocumented workers. It's kind of a funny video.
I mean, oh, he made a video about it?
Yeah, he's like filled out the form. He's like, I'm reporting him for this because he knowingly hired undocumented workers. The dude's a troll. Like it's, I would hope he realized that that's not a real credible thing. But yeah, I feel like where I'm at, dude, I get a lot of pushback from both sides. Like people don't know where to put me in terms of like the box of like, is this dude right wing? Is it, oh shit, this opinion was really left wing? Like he's giving money to people outside of Home Depot, so they don't like know where to put me. And so I feel like whenever I delve into politics, it gets like a lot of pushback and I get death threats and shit. But I do feel like, like that can create a lot of stress, and like it's a lot of stress on like my wife and like the family and
Yeah.
stuff and like all that. And so like, yeah, sometimes you're just like, do I want to deal with all that? Like if you make like a political video, which I still will and I still do, I just post like kind of whatever.
Me too.
But yeah, like it can be a little bit like, especially once I have kids, it's like, like maybe the responsible thing to do is have this political opinion, but maybe it's just, time to post a video about like water or something. So I don't have like death threats coming in.
Yeah.
But it
I
is what
mean,
it is.
I even said that in a video that it's not mine or any of the creators on here's responsibility to mouthpiece what you want us to. It's because I said you want to put us in a box. And a lot of people, the average person in the comments is going to take the time to give you a death threat or shit on me. Number one, it's never ever been somebody I'd trade places with, or it's somebody just completely on a burner account, which
Yeah, that's what a
sorry,
lot of it
you're a
is.
fucking loser.
Yeah.
And outside of that, it's like they can't fathom that somebody is that has beliefs from both sides.
Yeah.
Like it used to be okay to be considered moderate, and now you have to be on a side.
Dude, you know what I do now? Honestly, it's actually helped me. So if I make a political style video, it's a pretty long video. And what
It's
that's
like
done,
there's not gonna
no,
watch.
what that's done is like, because everything is like nuanced. So like, yeah, like I made another video recently sort of about the whole like immigration debate. And it's just a long video. It's like, okay, like, I believe like some of Senator Rand Paul's points about like, we need to figure out some system where people can work and they need to, this, then like, oh, 90% of Americans actually do want people who have committed multiple crimes and these type of crimes, like, the people dealing fentanyl and stuff, like most Americans agree with this. And then you like, it was like, oh, like, I think it was like only 32% of Americans think that like everybody, no matter what, should be out. So then it's like, oh, we're kind of more like most Americans sort of think like similar. Just trying to
Yeah,
like, unite people. Anyway, it's a long video with a lot of, sources and citations. And it got a lot of views and all that stuff. But it was a more civil conversation in the comments because anybody who's going to watch that whole thing, the video does end up sort of nuanced and like they want my opinion from it. It's like, well, my opinion is varied and it's complex and like there's obviously some elements that have gone viral of me like speaking out against ICE, but then the other side might hate on some elements. I'm like, we need a strong border. Like these are the negative things that are clearly going on. And so that video was better. I didn't get any, crazy death threats. I don't know, like from that one. So I think that's like what I'm gonna do from now on. And like it just won't go viral because it's a boring ass thing because things have nuance. Like when you give somebody like a short clip, like shit'll go viral because they're able to put it in that
for
box, like
sure.
boom, like I'm talking to the streamer, I'm like, yeah, no, I don't rock with that shit. That's a boom, viral, like Santa Cruz hates all ICE agents. It's like, like that'll go viral for your clip. Like But yeah, it's wild. It's a wild
It
world.
will. It will. And I think we're so much more alike on a human to human basis in real life than we are different. We all think more of the same things than we realize. And social media strips people from the idea that that's possible. You only see the extremes. You have people, I'm guilty of this sometimes where I'll make a video that I know is going to go viral because I don't have nuance. And
Mhm.
I just, this is my opinion and I'm not going to
I do
explain
that
it.
with health a lot. And
Yeah.
you know this. Like you know me well in terms of the health stuff. So it's like, of course, like I champion against Red 40, I champion against seed oils and stuff like that. And like I'll make these like stupid viral videos and like um it is like what I, like in my personal life, like I do like avoid those things. Like I live my truth. But anybody who knows my content more in depth, if they're like, hey, like I'm getting super healthy, Brennan, but I'm drinking artificially sweetened diet sodas, I'm like, great, cool. Glad you quit regular soda. Like, oh, I drink a Gatorade. Like, should I feel bad? No. Like,
Yeah.
people that know my content know that.
I think your podcast is a big source of that too, where you have the time for nuance. I mean, you
Yeah.
were in the clips, you might assume that Brendan says alcohol never under any circumstances, but then in your Q&A you released on I think Monday, you said, "I get it. You're in college. You're gonna drink,
100%.
whatever."
Yeah.
And it's one of those things that like, yeah, we have the clippable viral things we do, but if you're a sensical, critically thinking human being, your takes are probably pretty down the middle
Yeah.
and reasonable.
Yeah, 100%. And like, especially lately, man, I'm trying to have like this unity amongst health creators. There's so much beef amongst health creators right now, whether it's like the raw carnivore people versus, the vegans. Well, fuck the vegans. No, but like, just all this like crazy adversarial relationships. And what I'm trying to tell people lately is like, we need to pull people out of the despair that is the clear stuff that's unhealthy. You're 400 pounds walking into McDonald's every day. You're depressed. You're like, we need to pull people out of that despair because there's so many people that are living in that right now, or just unawareness of like, they still think that having 2 drinks a night is healthy because they read something a while
Right.
ago that it's healthy. It's like, okay, let me pull people out of that, like get some actual facts, at people. And then it's like, you know, I would rather people be in a niche debate about seed oils than just like not know anything about health, at all. So it's like if you're having some niche debate about seed oils or animal based versus paleo versus, having more fiber, then you're probably already pretty deep down the rabbit hole in health. It's a good place to like be for most people where you're like already trying to fixate on like, different aspects of health. That's what I'm trying to pull more people out of the doom and despair that is like standard American life.
Yeah, I want the same thing, man. I want people to understand clearly who are just getting started and can feel maybe overwhelmed by those debates, to understand what the big rocks are
Mhm.
and that nothing really matters until they push the big rocks into place.
Yeah, nothing, bro.
Nothing.
Dude, a lot of posts I do go viral where I'm like, do not buy my supplements unless you are working out a bunch, you are getting good sleep, you're eating more real food. It truly doesn't. And like, I'll do a post about like ashwagandha or sleep caps. I'm like, if you can't take 10 minutes to do a 10-minute meditation, do not buy ashwagandha or magnesium or sleep caps. Because if they could put a 10-minute meditation in a pill, it would outperform all those.
Yeah.
Now, if you're able to do that 10-minute meditation and you're dialing in other aspects of your health, cool. Invest the money in something that you want. Take some magnesium. Cool. Like there's clear research on it. But the the research is abundantly clear. There's not one person in the health world that debates around the basics of getting enough sleep, getting outdoors, exercising, eating more real whole foods. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people that don't do those things, yet they have, a $500 a month supplement collection. It's crazy.
It is insane. The analogy of the big rocks and the small rocks is from Lane Norton. I'm always quick to credit him because I think it's the best analogy ever. But there are still people out there that are 100 pounds, 50 to 100 pounds overweight, asking me when the best time to have their post workout, intra workout meal and snack is. And I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, you smallest rock ever.
Yep.
Your omega-3 doesn't even matter. Your creatine, not yet.
Yeah. You drop the weight.
Not even your magnesium. You're just fat.
Yeah.
Like, focus on that first. And dude, this beef in the fitness community is it's like political division. Like,
It
we
is.
just have a bunch of creators green screening each other, fighting about like, oh, he's behind him and now he's behind him who was behind him, and it is just a green screen war, and it's fucking lame.
Yeah.
And like, either like wrestle or fight or something, or kiss, or like get over it,
Yeah.
dude. Because I think all that type of content creation is doing, when you're constantly fighting with each other on green screens, is dividing everybody,
Yeah,
all the humans in your comment section, and then everybody just leaves confused and pissed off.
for sure.
That's not what I feel like everyone in our space, at least originally, hopefully, got into this to help people realize what they realized. That's
Yeah,
why I did it.
yeah,
I realized that I was lean and fit and healthy, and I didn't feel like I was compromising any facet of my life socially, relationally. I felt like I was still going out and living my life, and I felt like people thought that they had to sacrifice something to be really healthy.
yeah.
And that's what it's always going to be about when it comes to me talking about health. And then somewhere along the way, it's easy to get caught in the throes of internet fame and virality and do crazy shit and then just become bitter and jaded
Yeah.
and then divide communities further.
Dude, I saw a video where Saladino recently is incorporating like some starchy, like yucca root and asparagus, and people are hating on him in the comments because obviously he's talked about plant defense chemicals, which is not a belief I hold. I've always eaten some plants and potatoes and all that stuff, right? But then it's like at some point I made this video like, don't wouldn't you want him to be healthy if you firmly believe that veggies and, potatoes and stuff are healthy for human beings and you want people eating that, you want him to promote that. And then once he does, you want to leave a YouTube comment like, just a hateful comment. It's like I don't want him to be unhealthy. I don't want I don't want Dr. Ids to be unhealthy. Like makes much, like I want
Is that
everybody
the
to.
vegan doctor?
No, I don't think he's vegan. He might be like plant based, but he's like a doctor in the UK that does like a lot of videos that are, man, I do have like some of these health creators where their whole page is just like looking at your day of eating or my day of eating and just hating on it. It does get a little tough. I would think they might sleep better at night if they do some positivity content out there. It's how
Dude,
it's
that's
how
what I
I've
was
created,
talking
dude. I mean,
about.
it's like some of those people like, yo, like come to my meetups. Like there are thousands of people that come up and they're not like having some niche debate with me about, seed oils. Well, sometimes, but like they're 99% of the time, they're like, yo, you got me into health. You got me eating more real food. You got me exercising. You got me just stoked on these various activities that I do and just how I live life. I show how I live life. And I don't give a fuck if they buy my products or eat exactly how I eat. I give a fuck about what they just told me. I'm like, yo, I'm not in my home on my iPad in the dark, depressed on five, medications. Like, you help me get out of that. That's a win. All other shit's just like you said, small rocks.
Dude, that's so huge. And it's the best feeling ever to be able to do that. And it's you kind of make a funny point. All those creators who are sucked into green screens just hating on other
It's
creators putting
insane.
themselves out there. It's like, dude, gotta get your cortisol checked, twin. Like
Yeah.
you might be suffering physically from all the hating you're doing because you're just surrounded by negativity and anger. And then you
Yeah.
create an echo chamber of people who agree with you and further your narrative. And
Yeah.
that's just not healthy.
For sure. Yeah, and like I sometimes get some hate because I'll collab with a lot of different people. Like I've collabed with the Clav. I'm sometimes on like the Nelk Boys podcast. I'm gonna film this thing with a Big John Golf. So I don't know if you've seen Big John
Dude,
Golf.
yeah, I like
Yeah.
Big John
So
Golfs.
like dudes like that, where like people sometimes look at those comments like this kid fogs it up all the time. He's off the za and he's drinking every day. Like how it's like I'm not endorsing that. I am hoping that I can instill some healthy habits on him, but I'm gonna meet somebody where they're at. Like I'm not gonna. What do you want me to do? Take his bottle of tequila, smash it on the ground, and the dude's like, that's gonna make no change. And also can't judge people too hard because when I was a teenager and in my like high school years, early college, I drank alcohol. I had the bottle of tequila. So who the fuck am I to hate on that? I hate on it a little bit. I'll tell you the truth about it. But like I can't just like you're not gonna find any common ground with people with that. So it's like I'm trying to meet people where they're at, show them how I live, and see what happens from there, you know?
Yeah, dude, I really commend you for the way that you've created your brand. And number one, the fact that you have it's so big and so strong is truly an art. And it's really admirable to see. But you've also pioneered that style of content, which is I'm gonna collab with everybody I want to collab with,
Yeah.
not if they fit my narrative, my branding, the streamer thing you did, the lock-in challenge. Like
Yep.
I've been watching all of that shit for a long time, dude. And you're bringing people into the veil and of showing them what your life is like in hopes that it rubs off on you. I think a lot about when it comes to me being a Christian, there's this great quote that I love. Spread the gospel and when necessary use words.
Hmm.
And what it means is to let your actions do the talking. And
Yeah.
I think that's what you do when you bring these guys and these kids in that are living a certain type of way. You don't shame them
Yeah.
into trying to change like the church can do for Christians.
Yeah.
You don't force it down their throat like people say the Bible was done to them, and you give them a real opportunity to view it with an open heart and an
Mhm.
open mind. And so I commend you for what you're doing, man.
Dude, it's really interesting too because thank you. And like on some of these streams, like you're saying, there'll be moments where people are asking me about this and that. And like I've actually had a lot of people lately ask me about like my relationship with my wife, like relationship advice style stuff of like these young kids like out there dating. They're in these like devilish scenes, dude. Like they're trying to find their wife at like 3 a.m. in a club in Miami and stuff like that.
She's not there, twin.
She's
Walk
not there.
out.
Yeah, you got to get out of there. I think a lot of young people are coming around to the fact of like, okay, like I do want to be married. I do want to have a family, and like happiness is waking up Sunday, going to church, and then going to the farmer's market. Like that's a real trend that I don't think is going to go away because it's not really a trend. It's how people have done life for a very long time with success in most cases. So like, again, showing how I live, it's like that is how I live. And so being able to hang out with these younger streamers, whatever, and just explain, I'm like, this is genuinely how I live. And so I don't have to put on like a face either. I've filmed with people before where they don't they don't they don't live how they say in their content. And that seems like a nightmare to me, bro. Like if you had to put on a face to do content, like I couldn't imagine it.
Dude, I think about that all the time. I had this conversation just the other day. So someone came up to me in public and was like, "Dude, you're just like how you are." I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, why would I not be?" Because I can't imagine having to put a mask on every time I make a video and play a character because if the mask slips and suddenly I'm an asshole or I'm not as advertised. Like, dude, I smoke cigs sometimes
Mhm.
after half marathons and marathons and I'll post that shit
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I don't want someone to see me and be like, "What? You're the health guy." I'm like, "Dude, I showed you."
Yeah.
Like I want everybody to know every part of, well, not every part of me,
Mhm.
but I want to show up authentically online, and if in order to get to the top, I can't do that, then I don't want the
Yeah.
top. That's the biggest thing. Like everybody wants to make it to the top, but nobody thinks that they can do it by being themselves.
Yeah.
And I think people like you and what you've built, and hopefully what I'm trying to build now, teaches people that you can actually show up how you want to be, and that authenticity that you're scared to bear to the world is actually what the world needs more of because everybody's playing a character.
For sure.
But it seems so exhausting to have to turn it on if someone knows who you are in public. I can't imagine that.
Yeah, it'd be insane. I wouldn't be able to live like that. I want to give people some like very tangible, real stuff that they can take with them for their health. So, what do you do in the morning? Like, what is your first thing when you wake up?
It's very simple. It's been the same for years. It's wake up for, and this can be, I know some people really struggle with this, to your point of meeting people where they're at. I do no phone for the first like hour of my day. A little tougher out here because it's 9 a.m. Eastern and my day, like my clients and everything are already messaging me. So lately it's been about 30 minutes, no phone, just let my brain wake up and let my dopamine and my cortisol rise a little bit, my dopamine levels be natural, not artificially raised by my phone. And I meet as soon as I can, I wake up as quick to opening my eyes as possible, and I have 16 ounces of water.
Yes.
Typically, another 16 ounces of electrolytes after that, and then as quick as I can after that, I'm in the sun. And I don't mean direct sunlight because people always follow that with. But what about cloud cover? Just get out in bright lights in
Yeah.
the morning for 15 to 20 minutes, and I'm moving. I
Hmm.
don't typically. I'm actually not a big morning workout guy.
Neither am I. I
Morning
have a
run.
morning like stretching routine and like mobility routine, and like it will get my heart rate going a little bit, bouncing around stuff, getting some like lymphatic fluid moving, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, same. I don't like hitting a hard workout first thing.
Yeah, so my routine has been the same for 5, 6 years now. It's water, light, movement, mindfulness,
Yep.
and that looks like water, sunlight, and, movement. Used to be a walk. Sometimes it's a run because marathon prep and whatever, but lately I've been doing this qigong. Have you seen that? Like the
Yeah.
twists and the
Absolutely.
spins?
Yeah.
I've been doing that and taking my mobility more seriously.
Shout out Mike Holland on
Mike
Instagram. Yeah, we
Holland,
just linked to
yes.
them in Miami. Great
He's in
dude.
South Africa with Dev right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, I saw that.
I
Yeah,
saw him on Facebook. I was like, "Dude, I did my twist this morning." I
dude,
just, like,
it's
fangirled.
great. I mean, the movement, like, so that's so funny, bro, because that's like exactly my routine. Like, same
Really?
thing. Yeah, wake up. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll film like maybe having electrolytes in the morning, but I don't like open social media until at least like an hour after I wake up. But same thing, bro. Go outside, electrolytes, sunlight, gratitude, and then my morning mobility routine, which always changes a little bit, but like it's this 10-minute stretching kind of routine that I do. There's some foam rolling, there's some FRC style movements, there's some hip openers, shoulder openers, and I have to do that. I've been doing it for like 10 years. It's changed over the years, but like it's like I don't even have to turn my brain fully on to do it. I just know what it is, and so I'm in this like different kind of state. I feel like 'cause I'm just like getting my body moving,
Yeah,
and it's like you
it's
always have
evolved.
time to do it. This routine doesn't take a long time.
That's the biggest thing because I get pushback on this sometimes. Mine's evolved. Sometimes it takes longer, but if we want to make this as practical as we can for the beginner, the base core, if you're not doing this now, you will feel dramatically better from water, light, movement, mindfulness. And you can do 3 minutes of drinking water. You can do sunlight for 10 to 15 minutes outside while you're walking.
Yeah,
And then for me, it's like time in the word and time in prayer for 5 to 10 minutes. That whole thing is 25 minutes
yeah.
tops. And you can boogie and make it faster. You
Bro,
get out 25
I'd be on
minutes.
ChatGPT telling it give me a Bible verse of the day.
Really?
I'm lazy. I know some people hate on that. I don't really know
Crack the
people who
book,
really.
bro.
I
Crack the
know,
good
right?
book.
I have it there, but like sometimes it'd be like that.
I
Um,
get it.
but then like you're saying, it can be intimidating for folks. And I got my wife doing a morning routine, which now she has like a morning routine. But it used to be just wake up, go outside, hydrate. And now we started throwing in some mobility. And sometimes how I am, bro, I'm like, do the 10 minute stretch, like do the 10-minute thing, like do the full thing. And I realized like after a few like weeks trying to get her to do that, it's just like not the way. So I'm like, all right, let's just do like deep squat and like a hip exercise. She's like, okay, like she likes that. And then now she's kind of doing like sometimes more stretching than me, but it's through no like push. It was like, okay, well, I'm trying to like, what am I doing? Sometimes you try to get people in your life, if you're healthy and watching this, you try to get people on that wave and like you can't push them into like a 30-foot wave
You
to
can lead the
begin. Like
horse to water, but you can't make it
you
drink.
just get people to start doing like basic stuff. And the beautiful thing about health is you have this like upward spiral of you start feeling better when you start doing these things. And so you'll do more. And I think that's just like I've seen that so much. Like people come up to me, they go, "Oh, should I start tracking calories? Should I start blasting right at True Tide?" It's like, brother, hit your protein goal and get 10,000 steps. Do that, and they'll come back to me. They'll be like, "Okay, holy!" Like they're ready for the next thing
Yeah.
because like that right there fixes 90% of the world's problems, honestly. Um, but yeah, it's pretty amazing. And then so you do that morning routine, workouts during the week. What does it look like for you? Like, what are you eating for breakfast,
Mhm.
lunch? I know you've been a nomad lately, so it's just a
Yeah.
different life.
It's a little all over the
On an
place.
ideal day, what does it look like?
On an ideal day, I'm going to take marathon prep out of it because it becomes more nuanced and complicated. But my normal life for the past few years is wake up, do the morning routine. I'm a big intermittent fasting guy. I've pushed that back a little bit. I used to really push calories when I was trying to get lean and stay lean and almost do OMAD or small meal at 3, dinner at 7. Nothing super wrong with that. It's certainly a powerful way to constrain calories. I found myself sleeping better if I eat earlier in the day.
Yeah.
So for me, wake up at 7, probably do my mobility, go train 9, 10 a.m., and then I'll have my first meal. So all I've had pre-workout is electrolytes and caffeine,
Hmm.
and have my first meal somewhere between 10 and noon. 1, 2 if I'm really just behind on the day.
Yeah.
I think your protein bar was the first thing I've had. It's 1:30.
Yeah.
Amazing protein bar, by the way.
Hey, let's go.
I give it a 9.2 out of 10.
Let's go.
And then go to the gym. Training is very simple and it's really probably never going to change. I do a 3-day full body split, high intensity, low volume.
Yep.
So I'm doing 2 to 3 working sets in close proximity to failure. I'll do a pushing movement for 2 to 3 sets, a pulling movement for 2 to 3 sets, a leg movement, and then an accessory. So shoulders, abs, calves,
Yeah.
bis, tries. And then I'm out. So my whole workout's like 8 sets across my body,
Yep.
3 times a week, plenty of volume, but I'm in there training hard
Yeah.
in the 5 to 8 rep range. So chest press, 3 sets, 5 to 8, take it to failure. And then the next time I chest press, I'm going to try to add 5 pounds, progressive overload. So I do that on an A, workout B, workout A split. A little bit more intuitive with it now because I'm a nomad and I'm just moving around and trying different gyms. So that's training. And then if I'm not marathon prepping, I feel the best at baseline fitness, probably running 10 miles a week. So like a 3-mile run and a 5-mile run and a 3-mile run, 10 to 15 miles. And just walking, man. I'm a step hound.
Bro, me too.
That's
Me too.
it.
Dude, I love walking so much. I ended up putting a treadmill in my other garage. It's sick. We got like an ocean view from it. And like I was very like resistant to getting the treadmill because you know me, I'm a primal guy. Like I'm trying to walk around. I do like walk around a lot, like barefoot, but I realize I'm like, there is a lot of times where I'm just at my house and like it does like make sense for me to kind of be around and be available yet walking. So like I'll be like walking, my wife will be like, "Hey, can you help me with this one thing?" I fucking just turn that treadmill down to 1 mile per hour and go help, and the treadmill's still fucking running, and I come back and like I'm on that thing. And I've been able to rack up so many more steps like that. And it's just right there. So it can be like late and I can just be like, you know what? I'm gonna get a post out on my phone, like edit a post. Like,
Yeah, and you're moving while you do it.
yes.
I tell people getting really healthy is not about suffering, it's about raising your awareness.
Mhm.
And most people don't have the awareness to understand that, oh, I could go get 500 steps right now in 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then I could do that 6 times today, which is 3,500 steps
Yeah.
or 3,000 steps. And those little decisions, those micro decisions, we all know the phrase death by 1,000 paper cuts. What about life by 1,000 paper cuts?
Yeah.
What about the right small decisions in a day to make your life better? I believe that our society romanticizes grand gestures, 75 hard carnivore
Yeah.
diets, New Year's resolutions, and minimizes the small daily decisions. So we reach for ceilings, but what I encourage people to do is to find their floors.
Yeah.
Like, what are the minimums you can stick to, independent of your life, your emotional state, what you have going on? Because that effort compounded over time will yield the greatest change.
For sure. Yeah.
That's
Then
it.
once your body's like metabolically healthy and you have some muscle on you, it becomes very easy. Your
Yes.
body's just burning more calories at rest, doing nothing because you have more muscle. And then you just know how to, you just like become more in tune with your body. I do think there's like something to that of like, you become more in tune, and there's different ways to like connect with that, whatever you want to call it, meditation, like body scan stuff, just like having that connection. But it makes life so much easier. I'm able to listen to my body more and know what it needs. And yeah, it's unbelievable.
No
So
doubt.
dinner, what do you like to do?
Yeah. So lunch meal one is typically I'm just trying to maintain my weight and even just drop a couple of pounds for the marathon, like 2 or 3 pounds. It makes a difference on your joints. And so when I'm in a slight deficit, I worry less about tracking calories now and more about frequency of meals because it's
Mhm.
just hard to overeat if you eat twice a day.
Yeah.
So lunch, it's looking a lot lately like the meal prep company I work with, Nutrition Solutions.
Mhm.
I don't have a stove in most of the places I'm in. I have a
Yeah, yeah,
microwave.
yeah, yeah.
So that's clutch. So I have two of those. So typically meal one is around 1,000 calories and 75 to 100 grams of protein.
Mhm.
Meal two, dinner, is going to try to be home cooked. If it's not, I'm going somewhere I can get a red meat option and a starch and a vegetable.
Yep.
It's something I know the restaurant can't add a bunch of oil to, so there's not a lot of margin of error.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at another 50 to 75 grams of protein. Call it another 1,200 calories, and then I'll probably get a dessert. Like I'll get
Yeah.
ice cream or froyo. There was this ice cream sandwich shop in PB we'd hit. Call that 500 calories, and then I'm at 25 to 2,700 calories and 180 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So I just really focus on 80, 90%. If it grew in the ground, grew on a tree, or had a mom and dad, whole natural foods,
Mhm.
I'm hammering that whether I'm eating out or eating in, and just eyeballing everything else. But like you said, once you get fit, it's easier. Once you've tracked for a long time, you kind of earn the privilege to eyeball
For sure.
things.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like, I mean, yeah, if you are fat watching this, you need to learn to count calories.
For
It's
sure.
not a eating disorder thing. It's something that you should become aware of, and it's not something that you're gonna need to do for the rest of your life. That's the other fucking thing. People, are gonna, oh, you're always gonna count calories. I don't count calories, but to say it's not an extremely useful tool is just ignorant. And then you do sort of get a barometer of knowing how calorically dense something is. And for me now, I just maintain with the body weight I'm at. But sometimes I like to be like, let me lean out a little bit. And I know how to do it without even tracking calories because I am aware of the stuff that is very calorically dense. It's like,
Bingo.
and the stuff that is more filling and going to provide more volume and I'm going to feel more full. So it's just, yeah, it's a beautiful place to be in where you're able to be like, okay, if I want to lean out, I know instantly I can do that. If I want to bulk up, I instantly can do that. And it's just, yeah, it's a great place to be.
It's a
Supplement
superpower.
wise, what did you take any supplements?
Yeah, I take really only 3 things. I've added a 4th as of late. I guess 5 if you think about it. Supplements are not mandatory. They're meant to supplement an already healthy lifestyle, as Brendan says all the time. But for me, the closest thing I get to non-negotiables is magnesium.
Yeah.
Is 50 to 60% of the country is deficient. I love it so much. I designed my own line as well
Yeah.
with Ecovision. And so we have a 3 and 8 and a glycinate. I take 3 and 8. Right now, I'm out of 3 and 8. So I've been taking glycinate and sleeping like a brick.
Yeah, I love magnesium glycinate. I think magnesium glycinate is an excellent place for people to start with magnesium
Yes.
because it's extremely affordable. It's
Yes.
magnesium bound with glycine. Glycine has benefits for your muscles, for sleep, for your brain, and it's just easy. You
It
just take
is.
a couple hundred milligrams at night. Dude, I've put in my diet many times like Chronometer to Silzap, like Kiwi, and like I eat really well. I'm like on another level of eating well, I would say. And you're often going to fall short in magnesium. And it's just the way it is. Like our soil is a bit magnesium deficient. There used to be more magnesium in our water. And so a lot of people are just falling a couple hundred milligrams short.
Dude, it is so hard to get 450 milligrams of magnesium a
You'd have
day.
to you'd have to go seeds or like a pretty healthy amount of dark chocolate, which I love dark chocolate, but with the theobromine content of dark chocolate, I try to not eat it close to bed because it's
Yeah,
actually sort of stimulating.
wires you.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, like, so yeah, magnesium, excellent. And 3 and 8 is cool. It
Yeah,
crosses the blood brain
blood-brain
barrier.
barrier.
And so
I've
that's
noticed
cool.
some positive anecdotal benefits with my ADHD. I'm not medicated for it, and I notice when I take that, I'll even take both sometimes. But outside of that, I take creatine, 10 grams a day. I'm in
Yep.
the one, I think it's 1 gram per kilogram of, I can't remember the ratio, but I think I'm 90 kilos. I take about 10 grams a day.
Yeah.
Um,
I've done about 8 to 10 grams a day for a while now.
there you go.
I have unlimited creatine, obviously, because I drink the
Yeah.
creatine. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, and like creatine, guys, get a good creatine monohydrate that you like. I prefer what we do is like the really fluffy creatine that mixes well. We
Hmm.
lab test ours for heavy metals. But all that said, just get a good creatine monohydrate and don't fall for
You don't need all the bullshit.
no.
Creapure, Micronized, just get monohydrate. It's the one
Yes.
that's been researched. It's all we take. And then I take vitamin D. When I'm here, I'm really not because I'm outside
Dude,
like an hour a
this is
day.
kind of around when I stopped taking my vitamin D. And we have vitamin D. We have vitamin D with K2. I mean, it's kind of like for me, it's like either get total body sun exposure frequently or take vitamin D, or maybe you need to do a combination of those if you're in school and you're just kind of like you can't get outside, or you live in an area where you're not getting good total body sun exposure. But yeah, sun is the best. We can do that, right? It's nice out right now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
perfect. And it's the only way to really know is getting my bloods done. And my vitamin D was perfect. So that was when I was supplementing in the winter. I was doing 10,000 IUs of D3, K2. And then lastly, I've added recently in electrolytes, of course.
Yeah.
And then I've added in,
Well, that's actually that's an interesting thing because the electrolyte conversation, people make these posts of being like, if you don't work out hard, you don't need electrolytes.
they're
I'm
getting
like,
some hate recently. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, I completely agree. If you're not working out hard, you don't need electrolytes. You will get electrolytes through your food. Electrolytes are for people that work out and
And
are
lose
active.
water. Yeah.
And if you're in a cold climate, you're going to excrete more electrolytes through your urine while you're active. And if you're in a warm climate, you're going to sweat. And there are great studies on this. There's a study on the Philadelphia Eagles during training camp. Some of those, this is a crazy case because these dudes are elite athletes, 4 hours a day training, huge. Some of these dudes, bro, were losing 30 grams of sodium. You can read the PubMed study. It's amazing.
Wait. 30
30,
grams.
30. The average, big dudes, 7 grams. 4 hour training camp, Philadelphia, humid heat. Keep that in mind.
Fun fact: the RDA for sodium is what 2,500 milligrams a
Yeah,
day.
yeah, I think it's
So,
2.3. Yeah, yeah.
so these guys
So
would die
yeah, no,
legitimately.
100%. So that's like what the study says. Like they have to supplement with
Wow, no wonder the
electrolytes.
big boys cramp like that.
Dude, yeah, they're running through it. And then there is something that has been discussed. I don't think there's any really hard data on this. That when you become a more proficient heat adapted, like you sweat faster when you sauna, you become more heat adapted. That you might become a more salty sweater. They've said that athletes might be more salty sweaters. So you're sweating out sodium, potassium, magnesium mainly. Um, I think for people who aren't working out hard, I think it's very fair to say you don't need electrolytes.
Yeah.
Brian Johnson, I have my disagreements with him on some stuff, but he does some pretty cool stuff. He just did his own like study on sauna use. And so he did one of those things of analyzing how much sweat he was losing and what was in that sweat. And I think when he saunaed, he was losing about 800 milligrams extra of sodium. And I forget what his daily like was, but it's way more than 2.3 grams, like what the
Mhm.
government tells you to consume. So yeah, all that said, it's like obviously, I'm a huge fan of having a salt-based electrolyte, something balanced with some potassium in there. What brand to use? Just make sure it has sodium, potassium, and magnesium.
Third party tested.
Yeah, third party tested, high quality electrolytes. And for me personally, it's like I'm not anti carb or anti sugar. I just feel like it should just be modulated for the person and their goals.
Yeah.
So like if you're training for a marathon, people ask me this all the time, like, yo, if I'm training for a marathon, like what if I'm having like some cane sugar in my electrolytes? I'm like, great, go for it.
That's great.
You're
Yeah.
gonna need it. But like for most people out there, chugging sugar while they're working out at 24-hour fitness and doing a 30-minute workout, probably not the move. You're
Dude,
trying to lose
that
50 pounds.
that shit pisses me off. You do not need dextrose to do 3 sets of bench
Bro,
press.
yeah. Yeah.
Get real.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's
It's like you just
insane.
eat food, and people can look into the science on like carbohydrate backloading, which it sounds like you're almost doing when you're having just water and electrolytes in the morning and then you're working out. Like your body will tap into reserves.
Yes.
And of course, guys, you're an endurance athlete. People always bring up these fringe cases, but it's like hard cases don't make good rules. For most people, you don't need to be chugging corn syrup before you work out. It's crazy to say,
It is.
but
It is,
I
but
see
it's
it every day.
true.
I see it every day. People, 60 pounds overweight. Maybe I'm a dumbass, and that dude who's 60 pounds overweight in 24-hour fitness is training for a 100 miler. I don't know, probably not. And they're just drinking a huge Gatorade. And you're like, brother, that's 68 grams of sugar in there. You
Yeah.
don't need that.
Yeah. I
Um,
have a high carb meal before bed typically, and like my glycogen stores in my muscles and liver are accessed through my training the next morning.
yep,
And Jeff Nippard cited a healthy amount of research on that in a video a few months ago. But dude, even this is crazy, and I know we're coming up on time here. The
absolutely.
Do you know Eric Hinman?
Yeah,
Lives in
he's a beast. Yeah,
Austin and Denver. He got his blood work done because he's a crazy endurance athlete,
yeah.
like biking 50 miles a day, training for his half Ironman right now. He's doing rim to rim to rim. The guy is heavily glycolytic and he's lean and jacked, which means he's very insulin sensitive
Mhm.
because there's a direct correlation between your body's ability to partition glucose and how fat you are. And he was eating a bunch of maple syrup and his Greek yogurt before bed, and it would get to the point where he said he would just like hit shots of maple syrup before bed. He got his blood work done. He was pre-diabetic and he was
Yeah.
lean and healthy and like fit.
Yeah, it can get rough.
Yeah.
And then I always look at things from like that anthropological perspective, and I'm like, it's pretty clear. Like we had a varied diet, and like, of course, like I'm not like only through this like primal bro lens. I like technology and like science, but it does appear that like
You say you don't as you're in flip-flops and no wearables, and I'm in tennis shoes and two wearables.
yeah, you're doing two wearables on, bro.
Good
Dude, I
lord.
have an Oura ring at home. I don't wear it a lot though,
Yeah, you
but
don't need to.
I do like wearing it sometimes. But yeah, like I think people sometimes they go too much into like so much sugar during a workout before workout. It's like yeah, if I'm gonna do a hard jujitsu day or something, like yeah, the night before I'm like, let me get a little extra rice, let me get a little extra potatoes, and like I'll put some honey on my Greek yogurt, but I'm not going into a crazy amount. Um, Shit, during that barbarian, I was taking some shots of maple syrup though. But that
Yeah.
was like during it. Yeah, that's an excessive
What's
workout.
the barbarian?
Dude, it's torture. You could
Okay.
do it though. You'd be sad. It is two 70-pound kettlebells, a backpack with 70 pounds inside of the backpack, 120 pounds on top of a minimum 45-pound rogue sled, and then 20 pounds of ankle weights
Is that
on.
shit Liver King used to
Yeah,
do?
Liver King popularized it.
For a mile?
Yeah, you go a mile.
That's tough.
It's brutal. About one third in, you're like, this is awful. It's torture.
How long did it take you to to get the mile done?
2 hours 49 minutes. Yeah, to run the mile.
Holy
That was
shit,
moving.
dude.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You were like
It's
400 pounds though.
bro. Yeah, you're pulling. I think it's like 385 to 400 pounds. Liver King's property where we did it too. Like you're pulling uphill in this driveway at some point, and it was like Houston weather. So brutal. I just did a half of a barbarian with Nick Naracina, just like right down there, and yeah, it just like brought me like back. I was like, this is awful. But I was about half as sore. I was like, yeah, I just did half one, half as sore. Your traps get so sore. It's fucked, bro.
Dude, that is, yeah, you don't, all that to say, you don't need as many carbs as you think that you do, unless you're maybe training for a marathon, and even then,
Yeah.
still not as much. The
Dude, you know what?
last,
I like a baby food packet sometimes. If I feel like I need a
like
little
ground
bit,
up applesauce and shit.
bro, I have these baby food packets in my house that are it's banana mango orange, is like the
Yeah.
one I like. And I guess they're kind of a waste of money if you like really thought, but like whatever. And like so sometimes it'll be like before jiu-jitsu, or I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go surf, and you get like a little 22 grams of carbohydrates right there.
That's
And
smart.
yeah,
I
it's
never
good.
thought about that before.
Yeah, they're dope.
I would say the last thing in the stack is, and I didn't really think about this, but there's compelling data, and I just thought anecdotally it made sense. I started taking omega-3s
Yeah.
because I don't eat seafood very much.
I take omega-3s. Should I give them free love? I don't know them at all. There's a brand called Rosita, and then there's obviously Nordic Naturals.
Yeah.
So people ask me all the time about fish oil. Would we ever release a fish oil? I'm like, I would need to partner directly with a fishery. The issue with fish oil is the oxidation of fish oil. And Rhonda Patrick has a lot of research on this where she talks about the TOTOX score of fish oil supplements. And the problem is you have these huge companies making fish oil supplements. It goes and it sits on a shelf for a long time. They oxidize. And companies like Rosita and Nordic Naturals are directly partnered with fisheries, and so there's just less of a time till it gets to the consumer. So I think that's like important for fish oils, but I take a little bit of that cod liver oil. I do eat a good amount of fish though, just because living down here, you
You
have
eat just a ton
access.
of salmon, or
I like salmon. I'm not afraid of tuna. Like I know you aren't either, but like
I
it's
fuck
like
up some tuna.
people are worried about mercury, but there's a lot of studies on tuna and mercury, and you can clearly see that you need to eat a lot of tuna to get to a level of mercury that's going to negatively affect your health.
It's like
So,
the diet soda argument.
yeah,
You need
yeah, it is.
18 Diet Cokes a day for a week.
Yeah. Although, dude, the artificial sweetener I'm throwing hate to is sucralose, and I think my hate towards sucralose is valid because there is this study where they gave healthy adults 10-week trial, 48 milligrams of sucralose versus water,
What does that correlate to in a soda?
a half of a Celsius,
Okay.
roughly, allegedly. That's like roughly. Not just because
Bro's about
Celsius.
to get sued by
Celsius.
Celsius.
48 milligrams of sucralose is half of like most energy drinks.
Okay.
A lot of energy drinks will have like 100 milligrams plus of sucralose. So it's less than people are drinking, 3 or 4 of those things a day. And what they found, it's not that crazy. So I'll tell people like the solution at the end. If you're just like, you know what, I like my Celsius, all good. But the sucralose thing, bro, it's like a lot of people, they're going to have 2 Celsius per day or 2 Monster energy drinks, whatever sucralose thing. And then your protein bar has it. Then your protein powder has it. Then your gum has it. So I don't know how many milligrams of sucralose people are getting in per day, but for some people, it's going to be a bit high. What they noticed in the group that had sucralose was a lowering of acidophilus in your gut, like a pretty, like 1/3 less acidophilus. They noticed some in the study. It says glucose like dysregulation, but when you really look at the data, it's not significant amounts. You're like, brother, if you had those people do like 10 push-ups and 10 jumping jacks, but you know what I mean? Like, it probably wouldn't see that.
Wait, they're glucose, you said?
Yeah. Yeah, their
Interesting.
blood sugar, like they had alterations versus the water group. That's whatever. That can be like managed. The gut microbiome aspects are a little worrisome to me because it just appears to sort of cook your commensal bacteria in your gut. And how they make sucralose, it's basically, to oversimplify it, it's like chlorinated sugar. So your body doesn't absorb it.
Hmm.
And there's also research on like chlorine exposure and cooking your gut microbiome. All that said, if you're gonna eat your sucralose, just like have some yogurt, supplement with acidophilus maybe. That's pretty easy stuff to do.
Chat, does Diet Coke have sucralose or is it
No, no,
aspartame?
Diet Coke is aspartame.
Sick. I knew it
And
was better than Coke
yeah,
Zero.
I haven't seen really any tremendously compelling evidence that aspartame is dangerous.
The
You
fridge
know,
cigs can stay.
I I'm like me personally, I've never had that like urge, to have like a diet soda.
Bro, crispy DC at a dinner, man. It's just like it
Bro, what I
hits different.
remember from when I was young is it would give me like a headache. There is a PubMed study where some people get a headache after aspartame. Who knows? Might be a genetic thing.
Are you drinking anything, Olipop's or anything in the artificially sweetened realm, really?
No, no, I'm just drinking like coconut water, electrolytes, which have organic stevia, so it's not an artificial sweetener. Um, Orange juice, black coffee. Those are like the only things I drink now that I think about it.
Word.
But again, like I don't ca like, drink your diet soda, like,
I'm
go for
gonna,
it. Like,
Brendan.
yeah, I'm
I'm
not
gonna.
yeah, it doesn't have, like, 9 just to make
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna
But yeah,
spite
the
you.
sucralose stuff, I would say that study is a bit concerning. Sitting with some functional medicine doctors in here, I think, is a really interesting thing where we've sat with these dudes who run thousands of GI map tests, so they're seeing a lot of what's going on in the gut. Dr. Keneally, a cancer researcher, same kind of thing. And they both basically said when they tell people to eliminate some of these artificially sweetened drinks, they see benefits for their gut microbiome. That could be more of a sucralose thing than an aspartame. We don't know. So I think it's totally fine if you like your Diet Cokes and you're crushing your fitness goals. That's great. Like shit, like I do stuff that's I play video games. People could argue that that's like unhealthy. It's not because I balance it with everything else healthy in my life and it makes me feel good. So like with the $100 soda videos, we didn't really ever do a lot of those anyway. But we no longer, if somebody's buying diet
I
soda,
saw those so often.
yeah, I don't go up to them and go $100 to quit diet soda because I don't. Maybe they quit soda for that.
Yeah,
Like, great, good for you. So yeah,
it's perfect.
yeah, it is. Yeah, those are fun, dude. Those are fucking fun to film. They're a trip, bro. The McDonald's ones are a trip.
Dude, some of the content you film, like this dude's got iron balls coming up to these guys and doing
I've had
this.
some situations.
Yeah, you get
yeah.
on. I've seen some of the stuff of like you getting in altercations with people that are talking shit and like
People get mad.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just silly. Those
Yeah.
people are silly.
Yeah, it's crazy. We have some crazy ones. We had this one that we didn't really like film. This dude, um, like I offer him outside a crumble. I'm like $100 on your crumble, and he's like no. And I open the door for him like no worries. And he comes out and he just starts staring me down, just like this for like I'm like bro, you don't gotta stare me down. He's like you were staring this whole thing. He's like I'm calling the police. The police never show up. They showed up once, and when they showed up, they're like this guy's allowed to film like First Amendment. So it's kind of fucking hilarious. We always do this timer of when are the police gonna show up. They never show up.
Do you enjoy doing videos like that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah, 100%. I get stoked to do them. They're fun. We always have fun interactions. It just breaks the weird, like, normal. If you're just walking to a McDonald's, it's a Tuesday. This is something you do frequently. You're just in like a pattern, bro.
Yeah.
And then, like, I'm going to be there offering you $100 to not go in. That's an insane thing. Most people are
Pattern
like,
interrupt.
pattern interrupt. Like, this is the weirdest shit ever. Why is this dude offering me $100? And you get comments in the videos being like, this dude's gonna go to another McDonald's. It's like, you know what? That's fine, but I get thousands of messages from people being like, I didn't know anything about health. I had no health stuff in my algorithm. This video broke through because it's like a prank almost style thing. And then they go, wait, why does this dude hate McDonald's so much? They start looking at my page and like, oh, health. Oh shit. And hopefully they start getting outside, working out, and just living that life. So
Yeah,
yeah, they're
that's
fun.
smart. I didn't even think about that. Algorithmically, you're able to reach an audience with those types of videos
Yeah.
that wouldn't see you doing a talking head video about seed oils or protein intake because that's just not in their algo.
Dude, and now like I'm doing this like once a week Nelk podcast, and you get a lot of people being like, why are you even talking to these guys? Which is crazy because Kyle obviously is like super into health. Like he's
Yeah.
jacked, he's running 100 miles now, and all this stuff. But I think it's because he did like partying content. You got like Steiny on the podcast and stuff. He's working on his health. He was wearing the weighted vest last time I saw him moving around. But I don't view life like that. Like I just don't get I just don't get that narrative. I'm like, well, I want them to be healthy and I want more people to know about health. And these are the homies. I know them, and so why would I not talk to them and like
Mhm.
spread my message of health? So yeah, you always get this small faction of people that are like, why would you even film with clavicular or whatever? It's like, I want more people to know how I live because I do firmly believe how I live is good and you'll feel good if you live that way. So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
That's what we're called to do, man. Jesus ate with the tax collectors and the sinners. So
100%.
what are we gonna just dismiss those people?
That's
That's
facts,
crazy.
man. Yeah, no, you gotta meet people where they're at. But yeah, man, stoked. Anything else you want to cover?
No, man, I think we got it. I'm excited. I'm going on tour at the end of the year.
Nice.
10 shows in December of 2026.
Let's go.
So there's a link in my bio that everyone can
Any
vote
in
on
California?
Laylo. Yes, can't really say where yet.
Okay,
We've got
I'll
a
be
couple
there.
of potential cities. We've got LA and San Diego on the list.
Yeah,
Really, it's going to be one of those two.
yeah,
Just about people are voting, right? So there's a link in my bio on TikTok and Instagram where you can go and vote for a city near you or your city.
yeah.
And we're going to build the list based off what the audience wants. So we're
That's
doing
sick.
a 45 to 60-minute talk. I'll be doing a talk on purpose and what it means to me and how to find it.
Yeah,
And then doing a 60-minute Q&A with the audience.
that's so sick. I will definitely wherever it is in California, I'll be there.
Thank you,
100%.
brother.
That'll
I
be dope.
appreciate it.
Last thing is you've done this thing of like this public speaking challenge, which went super viral. Why do you think it's so important to be able to have confidence publicly speaking?
That was a crazy thing, man, because I had no part in it. I made a video that went viral and posted it a few times about how communication skills will change your life. And then I said in the video, if you want to improve them, because everybody always asks me, but how? Do what I do right here. Set up the camera in your car, somewhere you're comfortable to be by yourself, record for 60 seconds, and you have to limit your filler words and you can't cut the video.
Yeah.
You can talk about anything. And to me, that just took off. A couple of creators, Reagan and Brandon, took it and it just exploded. Brandon posted one video and chopped me into it and it got 5 million views and it just
Wow.
took off from there. And now we've got something like over 80,000 people doing the Higher Up Wellness Challenge. So I'm just honored to be tied to it, but it's been amazing to watch. So why I think it's important is I think we're only as good as our ability to tell our story.
Hmm.
And so many people have incredible stories, incredible business ideas, but they can't make their mind connect to their mouth.
Yeah.
Or they don't know how to really simplify something to make the average person understand it.
Hmm.
I am where I am. And to a degree, you are where you are because of your ability to talk about what you're doing,
100%.
to uniquely articulate your thoughts. And the only way to do that is to practice doing it.
Yeah.
And whether you go viral or not, I've seen people go viral from this challenge and build followings and careers out of it, which is incredible. But to me, and what I've heard also is incredibly powerful, is the self-therapizing effect that takes place when you air your thoughts out of your head and put them into the world.
Yes.
You understand what you're trying to say and think better when you say it.
Yep.
And then you iterate those thoughts and they become more unique and they become more clear. And then you become more confident. And people believe a lot of times that this communication skill thing, that they're just born a certain way and it's static. But communication skills are a muscle and you can train them just like muscles in the gym. When I entered college and found this sales program I graduated from, it's a BBA, it's a bachelor's degree of business administration. I wasn't a good speaker, but they made us speak on camera and in front of the room every day.
Yeah.
So by the time I graduated, I had done 1,000 public speaking engagements.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm able to talk.
Yeah.
It's just like anything else. You have to build the callus so you can get comfortable with it. And the last thing I'll say is, I think this is the most important part of why I think communication is incredibly important. You know, the number one fear ahead of death in many psychological surveys?
Must be public speaking.
Public speaking.
That's wild.
People say oftentimes, I'd rather be in the coffin than giving the eulogy at the funeral. And so I view this very simply. If I can proficiently, effectively, and confidently operate in most people's number one fear, what kind of life can I build for myself?
100%.
And that's really why I think everybody should do it.
Dude, and communication will save your relationship, guys. Like,
Dude.
It like
huge,
the
but
fact
arguably the
that-
biggest benefit.
It really is. The fact that I can actually talk and explain how I feel to my wife and she can do the same saves everything. I feel like most people get into these relationships where nobody even fucking talks to each other. They don't even know how they feel. And the relationship dies or has a bunch of issues. And they'll leave that whole relationship never actually saying how they felt. And maybe it's because they don't know how to articulate it. So a lot of men will just articulate it with anger, with certain actions, whatever it is. Women will articulate it in different ways. But if nobody's actually saying how they feel, you're not even giving the relationship a chance to flourish. But like you're saying, if you're a man and you don't know how to say what you feel, like, dude, you're just not going to get there with a woman. You're not going to have a good relationship because, like, I get it, bro. Like, when I was younger, it's like a lot of like body language, anger. Like, if I'm angry at something, it's like, let me slam this door. And that doesn't work. It could, like, it has an effect, but it doesn't actually work, especially with somebody you love. So, yeah, I think like through that public speaking and learning how to like articulate how you feel, you could have a way better relationship.
Always in friends, romantically, interpersonally. My favorite testimonial, if you will, was a guy who DM'd me and said, I did it for 100 days. I did the Higher Up Challenge for 100 days on TikTok. I did not gain a following. I didn't go viral once, but me and my wife are so much more deeply connected because I understand how I feel now.
Yeah.
And I can tell her.
100%.
Most guys struggle with that.
That's facts, dude. That's amazing. Well, stoked for you to do your travel, come back, and we're going to do a bunch of fun shit.
Dude,
We're
yeah.
going to go surf. I know you wanted to spearfish.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go spearfish. I have this pro spearfish guy here in June. He's a little gnarly. He like hits me up. He's like, you want to go night dive? I'm like, no, dude. I'm a white belt at this, bro. Like, let's like ease into it. Let's go do some fun shit.
Please don't make me night
Yeah,
dive,
no,
Brendan.
I'm not. Yeah. He's like, yeah, we'll go 80 feet out. There's sharks, there's lobsters. You find the lobsters, the sharks. You gotta get away from them. I'm like, no. Let's go peaceful, La Jolla. We'll do that. Okay.
I'm hyped for.
Let's
for
go,
sure.
stoked, and maybe I'll start even running a little bit with you. Well,
Let's go,
3
dude.
miles.
Let's put down a 5K.
You can go do your like 15 mile. I'll run like a couple miles with you, and I'll just trail off.
Yeah.
I'll go to good on
dude,
ya
let's
and
run a
go
5K
eat.
together. Let's sign up for a 5K.
How many miles is that again?
3.1.
Ah, yeah. I can do
All right,
that.
bet. Let's
Okay.
run it.
Okay, much love.
Dude, thanks
Appreciate
for having
you,
me,
bro.
man. It's a pleasure.
Guys, like and subscribe. Go follow the homie. Stay healthy. Stay happy. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.